Magic City.
What's in Magic City, Ty?
You said what's in Magic City?
Yeah, what are you going to go do in Magic City?
Oh, I'm going to see some booty.
Look at him smiling. Look at his smile from ear to ear right now.
I'm going to help some girls get through college. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to help people further their education. I'm doing my good deeds.
He said I'm going to go help some girls get through college.
They got strip clubs at Hogwarts.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh shit. That's what's up.
Right.
Contributing to the community, bro. That's what's up.
Right, man.
Yeah, to quote the great philosopher Kanye West, I asked the Reverend, was a strip club cool if my tips help send a pretty girl through school? That's all I want. Like Wanos want they good whiskey. I ain't in the clan, but I brought my hood with me. Let's do this shit. Yo, good morning. Before we talk more about where Ty's kids' school fund is going, let's talk about some of the stuff that happened this week. Yes. And let me try to do this a little more professionally today because I be forgetting to do this. So let's go ahead and start with this right here.
Hey guys, I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Whoa.
Good morning, y'all. It's another Saturday, and we out here celebrating Juneteenth and Father's Day. Today is a special one, man. So happy freedom for those of y'all in Galveston that didn't know y'all was free until the 1865, excuse me. All right, and also happy Father's Day for the fathers out there. One in particular is on the show, and he just talked about giving away his kids' school's fund to women without fathers. No, just kidding. Let me stop. Yeah, and we're gonna have a good one today, man. Speaking of fathers, man, what's up, Darth Vader? I see you back in the news, bro, and you still got it, don't he? We're gonna talk about that on Obi Wan. But there's a few things going on in the headlines right now. Perhaps we could discuss a couple of them. One, my man Ty told me and sent me an article say, yo, looks like Jon Snow might have his own series coming out. Come through, Black Knight. Let's do it.
Yes.
Looks like our boy Loki is down with the brown hallelujah and is going to be getting married to a beautiful young goddess, and we are happy to see that. Guess what? In celebration of Juneteenth and whatnot, the Little Mermaid poster was released, and guess what? The comment section is filled with, you guessed it, racism. Let's talk about it. And unfortunately, right now, for some strange reason, we're getting reports that Ms. Marvel may not be that boom of excitement that we thought it was. And we got some theories on it. My man Tyrone says he want to talk about why he think that might be the case. So let's all discuss. In addition to this, unfortunately, the homie Stephanie is not with us just yet, but hopefully we get to see from her a little later because we got some things to ask her about some of the stuff that's going on. But one of the most interesting things, in my opinion, about that's going on this week is what's happening with The Boyz. And I don't know if y'all seen it, but Soldier Boy's out there in this hoe. Watch me crank it, watch me go, watch me crank that Soldier Boy and Superman. Oh, now why be you? Now why be you? Boy, hey, Soldier Boy, my dog Dane is here, boy, and he's not here looking for Sam. He's looking for justice. And I'm here for it, man. So let's chat on it, bro. So, if you don't mind, guys, I first want to say to Ty, happy Father's Day, homeboy. I know I'm a day early, but you know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day.
Same to you, brother. Same to you.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, guys.
Happy Father's Day. Yeah, you know, Tyrone, at some point, you know, you a dad, you just haven't let them out the,
Yeah.
Haven't,
I mean, technically he's the daddy. He just hasn't. Technically,
that part.
Hey, so wait, technically, I'm a godfather, so should I let's not forget about Yaz. Okay? Thank you.
Yaz. I'm so sorry. Happy Godfather's Day. Yes. Why can't Yaz be the father? Yo? I love it. But yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like we thought about doing some Father's Day stuff and all of that, and you know what, man? Whatever. If it comes out naturally, it does. We've already discussed our relationships with our fathers and all of that, so it is what it is. I ain't gonna lie. There's so much stuff that happened this week. If we got time to talk about it, maybe we will later. But I really want to get directly into the boys, if it's cool with y'all, bro, because this week's episode was very relevant. And I also think that this week's Obi Wan episode was a step up from last week's episode. But we'll discuss. So real quick, man, did everybody hear? I'm hoping that everybody here got a chance to see the boys yesterday, right? What were the biggest takeaways? Yes. What did you think about the episode? And is anything noteworthy? I have a few comments. There's a couple things that happened that I thought were very noteworthy.
We definitely confirmed that Soldier Boy can take away superhuman powers. So that was kind of fucking crazy. Kimiko lost her powers. You know what I'm saying? She's human now. I'm still kind of trying to figure out whether she can talk or not now.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean? Like, because she be having those like flashbacks, they're beautiful, and I love them little, moments when, she's with, Frenchie, I love it, but I'm not sure if she's speaking yet. So I love to see if she, is able to speak now that she's, I guess, not superhuman. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that was what took her voice away. So I don't know. There's definitely a lot of things that happened, but that was like one of the things that like really stuck out to me was like Kimiko.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tyrone, anything for you, bro? What you think about the episode? Anything stick out?
Yeah, well, just to what Yaz was saying, I think it was trauma that took her voice away. That was like one of the things that we learned about her earlier in her life when she was a kid. She went through so much trauma that, she couldn't speak or, decided not to, one of those things that happens a lot with kids, actually. But, that was just that little fantasy moment. But I would like to see her, kind of choose Frenchie as the person that gets her voice and stuff. But, great episode. Soldier Boy looks like he's being revealed to be who I figured he was, which is just kind of like another version of Homelander from a different era. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody seems to actually like him. Yep. Seems to be a kind of an asshole and stuff. So that's going to be interesting. The fracturing of the boys team is sad to watch, but it's super interesting. Not going to lie. Huey can't stop fucking up. And yeah, it's been fun to watch.
Huey fucked up again?
I mean, he stole V, first of all, like from Butcher's case. Like Butcher told him not to fuck with it, and then he stole it. You know what I'm saying? And then yes, he did save MM. You know what I'm saying? But like now he's like addicted to the power. You know what I'm saying? So like this is going to be a thing with Howie. Is going to be fucking up. And like Starlight, that's why she was like, I only need you. Like I don't need you to be super. You know what I mean? I don't need you to be like anything but you. I just need you. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, he keeps talking like he's doing all this for other people, but he's just, he's having a good time. He's being selfish.
I mean, but I can't blame him though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
can't you?
Well, yeah. Hold on. I can definitely not. And here's why. I mean, in every other superhero story, he is not every other one, but in a lot of superhero stories, he's the quintessential target for somebody who wants superpowers, right? Nerdy, gets picked on, is unable to defend himself. All of a sudden, here's an opportunity. He's not like Butcher, who has been doing just fine without his powers. You know what I'm saying? He just needs a little extra to kill Homelander. Here's a dude who, since soups were mainstream, first thing they do is run through his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like just exploded his girlfriend. Yes. And he's been living in fear of these fucks all this time, and so finally there's an opportunity for him to not feel so I get his plight, and it's a good one that they got in his script.
It is,
but it's also a bad guy origin story.
Is it?
Yes, it's 100%. Like literally, like that's why like I feel like is so against V in the first place. Why he's like no one should have like this powers, because like it turns already bad people worse, and it makes good people feel too empowered, and that's why like he's like Huey, you shouldn't be doing this. Like why he was giving him them looks, like he was like completely disappointed in him, because he was like like what the fuck are we fighting for, bro? You know what I mean? Like you got to think about it. So it's just it's a whole complex. This season is definitely more complex than the last, and I'm loving it. Like exactly what you said, like the friction between like the group. It's getting rough for sure, and it's like it's very interesting to watch. At PNL for sure.
Yeah. Ty, what you think, bro? You would like the episode, or anything you took away from it?
I love the entire show, not just the episode. I mean, this season is really catapulting the boys to another stratosphere. I mean, they are actually right now contending with Marvel shows. Like this is really they're really. I mean, uh, as far as the V goes, and you know Huey and MM and Butcher. Butcher said something that really resonated, and it was so spot on. He said the V doesn't change you into someone else. It brings out who you truly are.
Right.
And that's and Huey, in Huey's case, Huey has always been the guy that's been picked on and felt like he's not been able to defend himself and stand up for himself. And you know, last season he kind of finally, you know, got that backbone a little bit, you know, with his dealings with Butcher, and it's kind of rolling over into this season, and you're seeing Huey taking a firm stance as far as him not wanting to be picked on or treated like he's you know he's not that guy.
Right.
And so that I think that's for him the V is just empowering him to be able to say, look, I've had enough. And you know that's where we're at with him. I said last week, and I still stand on this. MM is gonna take that V. He didn't do it this episode, but what you did see was him think about it. And like if you're so like dead set against it, like you don't even think about it. It's an immediate no. But he did take a moment and thought about it.
Yeah.
I think after what Butcher did to him, I think MM is gonna wind up taking that V and gonna be stronger than everybody.
Yeah.
And he's probably gonna be in a situation where he winds up having to you know take down Butcher and Huey and yeah. I really feel like I feel like Starlight and MM and possibly Maeve. But I don't know because Maeve is gone at the present moment. We don't know where Maeve is.
Right.
And this whole thing with her and Butcher now, this relationship with them. Is it a relationship? Was it just a one night stand? The alcohol does things, you know, I don't know. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this unfolds because we know your boy Dean is a huge asshole and a cokehead, by the way. Let's put that out there. He had to get some lines in before he went and seen his girl. And shout out to Paul Reiser. Isn't that Paul Reiser? Isn't that his name?
Yeah. Paul
Bro, he's in everything right now. Stranger Things, The Boys. He's fucking killing shit.
Paul Reiser killed that shit for that 5 minutes. The 5 minutes that we saw him on screen, I was like, yo, I fucking like this guy. Like, I freaking like this guy. So I mean, The Boys is giving us everything we could want and ask for, everything we wish we could get from DC. That's the best way to put it. DC, holler at the directors of The Boys because you guys need help.
Well, I mean, do they? Because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, this is kind of they kind of started going this way with Peacemaker, right? I mean, Peacemaker is kind of coming towards The Boys a little bit, right? A little bit, if you think about it, with all the, you know, with the type of scripts that the content that they discuss. You know what I'm saying? And going at the superheroes. Like it's so evident right now. And I'm so mad that I didn't see this before. But we've always known that Homelander is kind of like the alternative Superman, right? He's like the bad Superman. I don't know why it took me so long to get that this was bad Cap. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
wow.
This is the bad Captain America. And you know, I don't know why I didn't see that before. I mean, he had the shield, and it's been there though. It's there the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the writers of this show are directly going at the mainstream characters of the mainstream comic books franchises, and I think it's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't know. One thing that stood out for me
in last week's episode, when they pulled when Butcher pulled the thing off to release
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, that's straight out of Captain America.
He pulled what? He did what?
You remember the like
the silo, that he was
the
in.
silo
That's
that
true,
they had.
yeah.
That's straight out of Captain America.
He's
Like,
right. And he's in there and he's like,
hold on.
and she's like, oh wow. Yeah, but they're more like, it's Soldier Boy. Yeah.
And we'll take it a step further. The storyline is Captain America's. He's from the 50s or 60s. He gets frozen in time. He comes back out in another generation. It's literally Captain America. Like
he was experimented on
with a little bit of a Winter Soldier mixed in there too.
Yep.
All
I
Russians.
was about to say that. A little bit of Winter
Russians
Soldier
are the
because of
Germans.
Russia. I was just about to say
Russians are the
that. Yep.
Germans.
I literally hadn't put it together. Like, I mean, even the word like Captain, Soldier, you know what I'm saying? Like they're war terms. It didn't, for whatever reason, didn't become evident until I saw him in the actual outfit and was like, oh, he's a knockoff. It's funny because I was Googling some of this stuff, and if you look at the comic book version of his character, like he wears like short, he looks like a character from Reno 911 or something. Like he's like cap on the top, and he's got like short shorts. He's like wearing like a romper or some shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever we go to. But I'm loving the mystique of his character, how they're not giving him all these lines just yet. They're giving us enough to go by, whereas we know that he's an asshole. Like the noteworthy moment for me with Mr. Soldier Boy is when he's walking down the street in, I think, Manhattan, and a gay couple walks by him, and he's just disturbed. Like you can see, like he's just like
shaking his head.
And I think that's glimpse into his assholery right there, and like us knowing that if he does somehow defeat Homelander, it's not necessarily a win for the world. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we don't hear Homelander doing this, gay. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I'm kind of curious about, is which one of these dudes is the worst. Another thing that happened in this episode was I think that your boy Homelander finally got a little bit of an idea of what what's his name was saying when he was saying, look, we're not here to help you anymore, because they started shouting out numbers and shit, and he was like, all right, yeah, sure. Remember they was in the boardroom and he was trying to
got mad at the chick.
Yeah, he was about to kill that bitch.
Yeah, she was like, oh, so what are you planning on doing for your for the first quarter?
You look dumb. You can excuse yourself. Like,
yeah,
but you know what?
Bitch.
That whole scene plays into what The Boyz is all about, because what that is supposed to show the misogyny of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't say anything to the men.
Yep.
But as soon as she opened her mouth, it was like, yo, so what I can't handle this? Like, what do you think? I don't have this under control? And then old girl, I don't even know what her name is, but the one that's playing Ashley was like, just go. You're embarrassing yourself. Just get out of here. Like, I'm like, whoa. And then they go into the criminal analytics department, and they fire everybody who bad tweeted or said anything about Homelander in the past. And that almost sounds a lot like I don't know, maybe our last president. I'm not sure.
Valid point. Yeah.
This is they're clearly going at the current political state, and trying to do it subliminally, but doing a very, very bad job of it, because it's very overt. You know what I'm saying? It's very overt. The Homelander speech, when he decides he's going to go full Homelander and gets loved by it, I think is very reminiscent of certain former presidents' speeches as well. But I'm just this is such a soup of bullshit. I'm also I'm a little torn. Specifically about whether or not I'm happy with the fact that baby girl doesn't have her powers anymore. Like I'm torn, right? Because at first we thought maybe she's going to get them back because she's going to need them to heal.
Well,
But she's starting to heal now. And not only is she starting to heal, but she's loving the fact that she doesn't have her powers. Like, look at how she reacted, Tyrone.
I know.
Look at how she was like so excited. She's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I don't have my powers. Isn't this great? You know what I'm saying? And I don't like, in my head, I'm like, no, you're susceptible now. You're gonna get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? It's not like her powers were.
She can still take temporary V though. So remember that she can still like take temporary V, and we don't know what that's going to do to her because she's already had that kind of gene in her. You know what I'm saying? So it could, like, you know, just like Kamala Khan with her bracelet, it could enhance what she already has inside of her. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know that yet. It hasn't really been, you know what I'm saying, like told or discovered just yet. So there is still hope that Kimiko might get her powers back. And I feel what you're saying, but at the same point, like, it's nice to see her actually excited and happy and not just like, yeah, I'm just like a weapon, I just murder people. Like, this bitch stuck dildos through people's faces, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and then got shot in the forehead for like liberating these women. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be pretty done with, like, you know, this kind of lifestyle she's been living too. I'd be really fucking happy if all of a sudden I got exactly what I was looking for, to be normal, to be human. You know what I mean?
Do you think that her powers and the way she was feeling was fucking with her confidence, and that's why as soon as she was able to get over the fact that as soon as she found out she didn't have any more powers, she immediately tried to fuck Frenchie. Was like right in the hospital bed. All right, these are jokes. She wasn't actually trying to fuck, but
no,
she was
but
clearly
yes.
Yeah,
yes, I mean, you gotta think about it. She is dangerous. She can fucking snap your neck, break any, you know what I'm saying? Like, we literally can see that she can break a bone really quickly, like, without, you know what I'm saying, like, having to work too hard. I mean, look, Huey's arm, you know what I'm saying, like, was broken. It was from Kimiko. So, you know what I mean? Like, she's dangerous, and like, she knows she's dangerous, so she doesn't want to get close to Frenchie and hurt him by accident. She'll never forgive herself. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about it. She's like, I'm a weapon. I'm a freak. That's how she sees herself. She doesn't see herself as someone who could be loved. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, of course. And now she's human. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have her super strength or super powers anymore. She's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna be with you. And like, that freaked him out because he's like, holy shit, like this could work. You know, she really wants to be with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that he was kind of shocked, and it was adorable to see.
Yeah, it was cool. I don't know why he hasn't been taking her seriously this whole time, frankly. Maybe because
he didn't think he had a chance either. You gotta think about it. They both, you know what I'm saying, they were stuck with each other by circumstance and like made this thing, like, you know, like their feelings transpired. It wasn't something that just like, you know, like happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't ever think they were gonna have those kind of deeper feelings for each other. But in the event, you know, like when she got hurt, he like really like he realized how much he cared for her. And then when she woke up and then realized she didn't have any strength and she kissed him, he was like, oh shit, like this is for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like want to be with her and she wants to be with me. It was like kind of like a shock. Like, he didn't think it was going to be something that was going to happen.
I don't know about that, because last season with the relationship between Kimiko and Frenchie got kind of serious, you know, because you could tell that they were developing feelings for each other. It was pretty evident that they
but I mean, he didn't think they were kissing stage yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just like straight like smiled, sat down, kissed him.
Well, I understand that she was more fragile last season. She had just lost her brother. You know what I'm saying? She really couldn't communicate. Remember, Frenchie had to learn sign language or learn how to sign and communicate with her last season. But once that, towards the end, like I think the last 2 episodes of last season, he started to learn how to communicate with her, and then they were like inseparable from that point. I mean, like, if you remember correctly, last season, Frenchie had an ex-girlfriend,
right?
And he tried to come back in the picture, and you know what I'm saying, try to, you know, and he was like, nah, like, you know, he was totally like over her, you know what I'm saying? So this now, the intimacy part of it, you know, the kiss and everything like that, that is new. We haven't seen them actually, you know, kiss, but I mean, they are like, I wouldn't, if your whole thing is falling in love with your best friend, they got the best friend part down. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Though. Like, but they just, it's just like same thing. Like you never think it's gonna happen until it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like it happened, and he was shocked. That's why he like needed a minute because he was like, "What the fuck?" Like, but he didn't want her to see it.
I got a completely different read on that moment, though. I think what's happening, I think what the show is kind of like developed at this point is that because they were like, hey, we're gonna go away after we do this job. We're going away, you and me. We're gonna go somewhere. Well, Frenchie right now is being basically held hostage by Nina and making him do the same stuff that that Kimiko's trying to stop doing. So and he hasn't told her yet, and probably doesn't know how to tell her. And here they share this moment that they probably both been waiting for a while, but he's got this secret and he's got this thing hanging over his head that he can't, he doesn't know what to do with. So I think that was, him trying to kind of step back and be like, oh shit, wait a minute. This is turning into an issue.
Right. I see what you mean. Okay.
But it doesn't help any of them that she has powers no more. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was anything, she could have fucked this chick up while she had powers. She was invulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I like this twist because it just shows like Butcher and what's my man? The dude,
Huey?
Huey. Yeah, Butcher and Huey. Like Butcher is using these powers, this temporary V, as a way to level the playing field, as he says, right? But when he tells whenever goddamn, I can't. Huey, whenever Huey wants to go use it, he's like, "No, mate, it's a bad idea, mate." You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "But you use." He's like, "Yeah, but it's not a gift; it's a curse." But Huey don't see it that way. So this torturous like way of like showing that listen, powers aren't all great. You know what I'm saying? I love that they got him like throwing up, and like it's not this easy. Just choose the serum. And all of a sudden your life gets better type shit. Like, it's like, yo, this shit is fucked up, man. Like the fact that Butch couldn't even control his powers for a little while, and he could have shot through the whole house if he wanted to, I think is indicative of the complexity of this whole power situation. So, I mean, I'm sitting there bitching because I thought she was a badass when she had her powers, and I still want her to have her powers,
She can still be a badass. That's what I'm saying. It's not confirmed nor denied that, like, officially she'll never have her powers back. They still have temporary V. And you know what I'm saying? You never know like what's gonna happen when you shoot her up with it. So you never know, you know what I'm saying? Like Frenchie might be like, that might be our way out of this if you know what I'm saying, you take temporary V for now. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously they've seen what it's done and what powers you can, you know what I'm saying, like get. So she's already had powers, so it's not like it's gonna be foreign for her. So if she just shoots it up real quick, kills that bitch, they're done. Out. Bye.
Right. But that isn't that kind of what she's been like conflicted with this whole season, is that she doesn't want to kill anymore. Like,
but if this is for her to be free, I'm sure she would ice that bitch.
I mean, even with that being said, like from the last few episodes, she only kills if like at this point she did the last job. She came out of that like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then Butcher kind of went off on her, made her feel like she didn't have a choice. She had the conversation with Frenchie. They both agreed to leave. She is at the point where, and so is Frenchie, for that matter, where they just don't want to kill people anymore. They want to live normal lives. And I think the happiness that she showed is because she realized, like, I don't have to be used as a weapon anymore. And to Tyrone's point about Frenchie keeping something from her, the time frame of when that happened, because you figure it had to be like maybe a couple of hours that old girl told him to do the hit, and then he goes back in the room with Kimiko and just watches the movies and stuff like that. I don't know that he was so worried about the I know he looked at the clock and everything like that, and looked at his watch and everything like that, and looked at his phone when she called, but I don't know that he was so worried that he backed up from the kiss because of that. I think he really genuinely has feelings for her, but he just doesn't know how to. Frenchie hasn't had that real. Frenchie was a drug addict prior to all of this stuff. He didn't have a real connection to anybody, and this you know, it's just foreign. I think it's really foreign. And if you've ever been in that situation where, you know, you really like somebody a whole lot, and then they make a move, and then you don't want to mess it up. You're just like, oh my God, I don't want to fuck this.
Oh, you still there?
He froze.
Oh, you don't want to fuck this up. Meanwhile, he's fucking it up.
He froze like Frenchie. No, I understand. I understand that thought, that line of thinking. Frenchie, they've kind of established Frenchie as kind of like, you know, he's smooth. He's like this, you know, he knows what he's doing. That's never really been an issue for him. I don't think Frenchie was ever on like a shortage of confidence or love or connection or anything like that. Right. You know, I think this is just, I think these circumstances, the way that they've shown them have, you know, put an obstacle in front of them where they thought the obstacle had been removed. So, you know, and the way I read it, and I could be wrong, the way I read it was, you know, just him not knowing how to tell her that, like, hey, remember our dream that we just talked about, that you right now you're thinking like, hey, we're out for good. Well, turns out we're not.
Right.
Like, turns out still in this shit, and I can't do anything about it.
Oh shoot! All right, I've just been given heads up that there may be a power outage.
No, man.
In Sir Ty's area, so we may not see him again for a little while. One by one, we falling off the show's gonna end up, it's just gonna be me. Not just kidding. So hopefully that gets worked out. Yeah, but that whole Frenchie thing is weird, man. I'm still trying to, you know, make sense of it. Like here's a lady who has so much power, so much access to so many goons, but she just likes to torture Frenchie. Like, does somebody know why that is again? I think they used to mess around. They had like a thing for each other or something, and she's just being a bitch about it. Like, she's just, you know.
I also think I think we're supposed to understand that Frenchie is good at what he does. Whenever he's actually on the job and stuff, like, he's very capable. You know, that's what we've learned. You know, the reason why he's one of the boys, and somebody who would go after Soups and stuff like that. Like, he's particularly good at what he does. He just doesn't want to do it. And yes, they have like a history. They were together. You know, they've they alluded to some very exploratory, sexual contact and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind seeing that flashback. Let's see what they were getting into. You know what I mean?
I don't want to see that.
No, but
you don't want to see that.
Certain things just shouldn't be shown, bro. Like, you know, and yeah, I don't want to see that.
This is a show where we saw somebody get stabbed to death with a dildo, and you're like, no, let's not. Consensual sex. No, thank
but
you.
Then when I saw it, I couldn't unsee it, so I had to rewind to watch it again. So I'm like, my brain can only take so much, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. What do we think about the whole Soulja Boy and was it Crimson? What was it?
Crimson Night, is it?
Crimson something or Crimson
I
want to call it Crimson Wave, but that's been called Cycle. I think that might be intentional, actually. I'm riding the Crimson Wave right now. Like, oh, okay, I'll be back in a week.
That's horrible. I don't think I've ever used that term ever. My entire life. I'm almost 30. I don't think I've ever used that term.
So the Crimson Wave, unfortunately, or whatever her name is, I'm pretty sure that's not her name. So feel free to correct me.
We'll find out.
But she fell victim to Soulja Boy's powers. Now I'm still trying to figure out. We've kind of determined that Soulja Boy is able to make people lose. Make Soups lose their powers. You know what I'm saying? He kind of has that. Who is it? Remember that X-Men 3, I think it was The Last Stand. The last Bryan Singer. That wasn't even Bryan Singer. That was a different director they had brought in. The one where it was about the original Phoenix. There was a mutant who made every. Remember? Did y'all see that one? The X-Men 3. The Last Stand with
Yeah.
Hank.
Yeah.
Which
With
one are you
Beast,
talking
and Beast
about?
walked into the room, and there was this little boy, and as soon as he walked in, his hand started turning into a real person's hand. You know what I'm saying? And they realized that this dude they were going to use this dude as a weapon. Like they were
Yeah,
going
the little boy.
they were going to take like his DNA and start using it to start making, mutants not mutants anymore. You know what I'm saying? And there were some people in the X-Men that were like, yo, remember Rogue was like, yo, this is it. Like we can finally. So it's not the first time we've seen like somebody taking away somebody's powers being their power. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in this particular instance, that's not his only power. He's exploding shit. He killed 19 people in Manhattan. He blew Crimson. What did we ever figure out what her name was? Crimson Countess. Okay, it's the Crimson chick. All right, blew her ass the fuck up. And so like I'm still like, well, what all is he capable of? You know what I'm saying? But I'm so looking forward to the encounter between him and Homelander. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, right, Tyrone? They're beefing us up so that the encounter between the two of them is a monumental mashup. And dare I say, I have a prediction. By the end of this season, Soy will be up a notch, Homelander will be down a notch, and then the next season will be comprised of Homelander getting back into the graces he was in before Soldier Boy took him down a notch. I foresee that happening.
Okay.
Tyrone.
All right. Yeah, that's a cool prediction. I can see that. My prediction is that they don't really face off at all. That Homelander kind of is, gives a come to the dark side kind of moment, and Soldier Boy's like, yeah, this sounds about right, because right now, I guess the only reason that that Soldier Boy would team up with Butcher is because he gave him the opportunity to exact revenge on the Crimson Countess. So I guess we just take Soldier Boy at his word that he's now on the team or whatever. That doesn't seem very ironclad to me. So, I still think Soldier Boy is going to end up becoming part of the problem, not part of the solution. And I don't. Yeah. So I'm still on the fence about whether or not he's going to attack Homelander at all, whether or not he's going to be useful to the boys at all. But ultimately, I think either Soldier Boy will end up dead or on the wrong side.
All right. Welcome back, Ty. Glad everything's running well over there. We was talking about how I predicted that Homelander was going to be brought down a notch by Soldier Boy. Tyrone saying that he's going to have a come to the dark side moment with Soldier Boy and say, like, listen, me and you are against the galaxy, galactic empire, such and such. I'm curious about if you have any predictions about where they're going with this plot. I mean, they clearly have intentionally kept Soldier Boy and Homelander from even sharing the screen. We're on episode 5 now, and they have yet to share the screen. They're the most powerful individuals in Vought history, from what it seems like. Where can we go from here? What happens next?
You absolutely are going to have a clash between those two. You have two huge egos. You could tell just by the look that Soldier Boy gave when he came to the city and saw the posters and the banners with Homelander and the Dawn of the Seven and everything like that. He seemed very perturbed by that.
Yep.
So
That's true.
I think what's going to wind up happening is cocky Homelander, who feels like he's the most powerful being in the world, is going to probably talk down to Soldier Boy and everything like that, because he doesn't really know who he is, other than the fact that he, caused some damage in the city, but he has he didn't go check out the damage. He didn't go down there to the scene and any of that. So I think there's going to be a moment where he goes and he thinks that he can do what he does to everybody else to Soldier Boy, and he's going to realize that I met my match. It's going to be it's going to be a huge thing. Listen, Soldier Boy is a walking nuclear bomb. That's like that. What he did in that little, was like just I just don't see this. If anything, I could see them switching roles because since we know that Soldier Boy is able to take your powers away, it will humble Homelander if he takes his powers away.
Mhm.
But once he takes his powers away, Soldier Boy then becomes the new Homelander. So we're gonna see. I as much as we see this all the time, where you want to hate the villain, you start to hate the villain, and then almost every director who does these type of things finds a way for you to start pitying or feeling sorry for the villain. You're like, he's not so bad. So I think he will probably take Homelander's powers. It will humble Homelander. Homelander will now be this, like impotent superhero. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna we're gonna start to feel bad or feel sorry for him at some point and just hate Soldier Boy. We're just gonna be like, oh man, he's even worse than Homelander, which I don't see how you can get worse than Homelander, but
know, right?
we'll see.
Well, you don't see how you can be worse than Homelander? I mean, look, let's keep it real, bro. Homelander was this close to being the Aryan Hitler wet dream. You know what I'm saying? And like he could have taken over the whole world with that shit. Remember, Stormfront, even with one arm and one leg, was beating him off, saying, "You're the head of the Aryan dream. We've been waiting for you for so long." He's like, "Oh, stop it with the bullshit Aryan shit." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just saying, like, imagine if he went full Nazi. You know what I'm saying? He could have gone full fascist and went that way. But the only thing keeping him in check is the fact that he loves that people love him. You know what I'm saying? Like the love for everybody from everybody is his weakness, so to speak. So he could definitely be worse. I mean, I haven't really heard a lot about Homelander having like homophobic he says some racist shit, like the shit he said to Supersonic. You know what I'm saying? Oh, your cholo machismo or whatever. What they're in love with your bean burrito or whatever the fuck he said, some weird shit. But Soldier Boy, like he's only been on the street for like a couple minutes, and he sees two dudes holding hands, and he's just like, oh, like they were so adamant to make sure that they put that in the script. You know what I'm saying? So imagine Homelander. Imagine a dude who's not drunk off power, who just literally hates people. You know what I'm saying? Who hates that this isn't the 60s, 50s era that he grew up in, where black people knew their place, gay folks were in their closets. You know what I'm saying? And he has the power to bring it to where. So, I mean, I don't know if Homelander is the worst. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we're gonna learn here is like all this. Remember that this saying, the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like right now they know Homelander, but they're hoping that this secret weapon is going to, take Homelander as a threat. But meanwhile, it sounds like it may even be an entry point to an even worse Homelander. Could you imagine where Homelander's mad and wants to join the boys to help get his own status back? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many places they could go with this, bro. Like, I don't know.
With that being, I see the logic behind that, but I think the one thing that we're forgetting is the trauma that Soldier Boy endured while he was in the custody of the Russians. Like he told every day they were shooting him up with poison, shooting guns in his mouth, and this was every day,
burning him.
And that explosion that occurred was because he had a flashback of some of the stuff that was going on while he was in the thing, and he
heard the music. That's why the Russian music.
He lost control. The thing that I think is going to cause them to it is not so much that I think he's going to be worse than Homelander. I think he's dealing with a lot of mental trauma, a lot of trauma to the point where he's not going to be in control of his powers, and because he's a walking nuclear bomb, it's going to get to the point where it's like he's having these episodes and just blowing shit up, and it's not purposeful, but I think it's gonna cause more of a problem in essence with Soldier Boy. But I don't know that Soldier Boy is all the way there. I don't know, like that many years of going through that, finding out that your girlfriend and everybody, he just found out everybody hated him. He thought everybody loved him. Yep. He thought his girlfriend loved him. She said and it's so crazy because they just did the same thing with Maeve. Yep. Maeve just finished telling Homelander, I hated you always. I've never loved you. You know what I'm saying? And then you get the same thing going over here to this man who just confessed or professed to this young lady that only thing that kept me going was the thought that one day you would come and save me. And now I've just confessed that to you, and you tell me I never loved you and everybody hated you. Not just me, but everybody hated you. So I just think he's dealing with a lot of mental issues, and that could be the problem, that the ultimate problem later.
So you think that he's more still trying to? I mean,
he's unstable.
He's he's definitely unstable. And you mentioned Maeve, and we already mentioned this before too, but what the hell happened with her and Butcher? Like what?
Alcohol?
Like
tequila.
Well, I don't think that we were. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ty. No, please.
I don't think that we were supposed to read too much into that. I think that was just, they have this moment, as they're, kind of talking to each other or whatever. They're drunk, and then really the most important thing that happened was that Homelander was able to, Homelander sniffed it out.
Yeah, literally. He smelled it on her.
Wow.
And really, that's the main reason that had to happen was, it was the thing that needed to push Homelander into taking action against Maeve.
Yeah, because did you see who grabbed her?
Black
Noir.
Yeah, Austin was like, it happened so quick. I was like, hold up, rewind, pause. It's Black Noir, motherfucker. And like,
yeah, getting you back for the shit you did to me. You gave me them peanuts or whatever that. Yo, because they say Black Noir is a vegetable. That shit turned him into like I don't know what they said, but
did you see the
huh?
Did you see the episode where they gave a backstory?
Yeah.
They gave the backstory.
They gave
Black Noir's backstory.
Black Noir?
Yeah.
Oh no, Ty was talking about the supposed kind of interaction that was caused after the almond joy. Was it? I think it was an almond joy.
Almond joy.
Yeah.
He's allergic to almonds or something. That's
but he also said that he's a vegetable. There was an episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. That they did show when Black Noir had a voice. He's a black man. You know what I'm saying? And he was
and he got burned up and everything because he didn't want to wear his helmet because he was like so fed up with wearing his helmet. He wanted to just not. So people can notice he's a black guy. He ended up getting fucked up, and they were like, "Where's your helmet?"
Yeah.
He's like looking like fucking Vader and shit, Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, like that nigga was crispy as fuck. Half his face was gone. So that was the first Black Noir. The second Black Noir is why his ass don't take off his fucking helmet.
Yes, yeah. That's the same. They're the same one.
I don't think it's the same one. It's from he's from the 50s. Or he can't be the same one. He'd be old as fuck.
No,
that's the same
one.
Dude.
Still,
it is.
Yeah, it's the same one. So that's why he said, I don't eat nuts. That was like one of the first things he said, and that's how we knew that it was the same one.
I got you.
Old as fuck, but all of these characters are old as fuck. You know what I'm saying? What we learned is that folks with soups age differently than regular folks, than non-soups or whatever the fuck it is. So I thought that was that's a fascinating thing. But I'm gonna, and we'll move on from this because I don't want just use the whole show to talk about Boys, but I'm gonna beg to differ with you a little bit, Tyrone. I think that there is something significant about Maeve hooking up with Butcher, and I think it's significant not in just that. Was it random? Was it a hookup? Sure. And did he detect it on them? Yes. But I think that what we've witnessed is potentially a cementing of an alliance between these two, with the potential for Maeve to be recruited from the 7, even if it's just for recon, just like Starlight. Right now, she's already doing it.
Yeah, she's been doing it.
Yeah, she's already doing
Well,
it.
she's
but-
been
but
giving
it's-
Butcher
but
the
that-
V and everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So
but-
she's already
Yeah.
been technically doing it. So yeah.
But,
But
yeah,
that
but
just
now, like
Tony's-
she's gone, she's crossed over. Like she's the poster chick for Pride and fought, and she's getting dick from this dude. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
no,
So-
she's bi, like she's
Oh, okay,
she's
okay.
Yeah, she
stated
does
that,
everything.
like, she's bi. She doesn't just
pansexual.
like
No,
women.
she's
She doesn't
pansexual.
just like men. She is bi. She has stated that. They
Okay.
just wanted to like. That was Homelander trying to be a fucking asshole, you know what I'm saying? Get back at her for the whole, like, you know, her and her girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to save her girlfriend and everything, and then they ended up having to break up because of the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was a whole, like, Dick Homelander move. So that, like, you know.
There was a key point in that conversation that they had on the couch that's why I was shaking my head. No, I don't think so. Butcher said something very, very, very important. He said after they get rid of Homelander, that he feels like they have to get rid of all of them,
Yep.
all Supes. He was very
Yeah,
clear
he
about
did.
that. He was like,
Sure
yo,
did.
none of y'all, like all of y'all. And for whatever reason, that I guess was like the nod for Maeve to be like, all right, let's have sex now. You know, like, you know, but yes, that is very I don't think he's looking for an alliance with Supes. Butcher literally hates Supes. He hates all of them.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, so his hatred is why what he said makes sense. The temporary V doesn't change you into somebody else. It kind of just magnifies who you are. And his hatred and anger towards Supes is why his powers are the way that they are. He killed Gunpowder
Yeah.
for basically nothing.
Yeah, he
Like, you could have took him in, but he killed him and didn't just kill him. He beat him to death and then lasered him and all. I'm like, yo, you know, add insult to injury. He's already dead. I mean, you're just doing more stuff to him. So I definitely don't think this is gonna be like that was like a way to cement the team. I think what we said before is Butcher's gonna wind up being a villain. That power that he has is Homelander-esque. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has superhuman strength. He's invulnerable. He has these laser eyes. I mean, he's Homelander in essence. So I think Butcher and Soldier Boy may be the ones that wind up teaming up and turn into the villain. And you see Homelander, impotent Homelander, going over there to be with Starlight and MM and whoever else is left. So, but I'm surprised nobody said anything about the A Train and the
I
Blue
was
Hawk.
going there.
Oh, yeah, I was getting
Okay.
there. Yeah, I was getting there.
All
We're
right.
going there. Couple
Go
things
ahead,
before we wrap up. Good points though, and agreed. And I also agree with yes, good point, Daniel. His name is literally it is
Butcher,
true.
yeah.
There is that point. His name is Butcher. But yeah, Lisa, I agree with what she said too. That temporary V is like metaphoric for money. So like you are who you are until you don't need anybody else, and you can display who you really, which I can identify with. But you were talking about what happened with
Blue Hawk
with
and A Train.
Yeah, A Train.
Yeah, in the
That's
neighborhood.
next
That
on
was
the
fucking
list.
nuts.
That's a very interesting. Like, this storyline just got real on his side, and this is why I was really hoping that Steph had watched this. I know I would have loved to have heard. What's this dude? Blue Lightning. You know what I'm saying?
Blue Hawk.
No,
Blue
yeah,
Hawk.
Blue Hawk.
All right.
No, it was Blue Beetle, wasn't it? No.
No,
Nah,
you keep saying that. Blue Beetle's a Marvel. Marvel character.
Yeah, Marvel.
Puerto
You're
Rican,
right. It
from
is.
Mexico. But this dude is like, he is the Blue Lives Matter movement embodied. Right, is basically what he is. He is the walking, breathing anti-BLM movement. Because I mean, this confrontation that he had. This is why I'm so glad he was your bitch of the week last week, because you're like, yo, fuck this. Why is he trying to negotiate? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you honestly, at one point, you're like, okay, this is the moment when he's like, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna use my powers, even if it hurts me. But Like, look at what this dude gets. He gets so angry at people for voicing their opinions in an area where he's supposed to be apologizing, right?
Literally.
And he ends up fucking up his brother's back, you know, probably for life as a result. And I think what we've witnessed here, yes, is a turning point for our boy A-Train. I think A-Train is now seeing
you think so?
It is.
If it's not, then his ass needs to just start running so he can just.
Yeah, I mean, because this hits close to home. This isn't just somebody who got hurt. This is his brother. And not only did his brother get hurt, his brother got hurt specifically because of his
He's
actions.
Paralyzed. That's what the doctor said. He's paralyzed for the rest of his life, is what the doctor said. That man has 2 kids at home, and he is paralyzed because of your stupid ass, and you trying to be all like, you know, come back, making a comeback and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And what was the goal here, Tyrone? What was in the plot? What was the goal? To bring communities together? Does that really work like that? I mean, we've seen that happen in communities before, where they try to have town halls with, you know, movements and the police. What was his end game here? What was he gonna walk away with?
Right, A-Train is just he's finding a way to do the bare minimum to make himself not feel guilty about where he is in his life and in his position in the 7. He knows what real change would look like. He knows what he could do to enact real change. He's had opportunities to be on the right side of things, to be you know, with the right people, but his interest up to this point has been in self. He's self-interested, and it's all self-preservation. So you know, he saw that little thing as a way to give himself a little moral victory. He could pat himself on the back. He could, you know, be like, look what I did for these people. You know, I got this donation. And you know, and it blew up in his face because his intentions aren't good. His intentions are completely self-serving.
Yeah, damn. Well, I think that they've done a fairly decent job of giving him a character arc though, in this script, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. Did you have anything to add to that, Ty?
Nah, I hate the dude. So I already told you, I was hoping they killed him this episode, but I guess I just got to keep waiting and hoping.
Would you rather them kill him than have him like?
Oh, absolutely.
No redemption.
Yeah, now especially what the fuck, he like literally fucked up people in his community. May have fucking he completely destroyed his brother's like future. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he needs to go. Like he's bending to go. I'm with Ty. I'm with Ty.
I was like that. I felt like that last week, but. I mean, you just such a punk dude. This dude just your brother. This is your brother.
Yep.
This is your brother laying there bleeding from the head because you brought this clown over here, and you have the power. Even if you don't run, do some of that flash stuff where you vibrate your hand and put it through somebody's body. Do some of that. Do some of that. He didn't even do that. He didn't even try to swing on.
He just stopped him.
He just was like, "What are you doing?
Enough.
What? Enough." Come on, get out of here. Like,
so you'd rather a dead A-Train than a redeemed A-Train who comes back.
No redemption. There's no redemption story for this dude. He don't deserve it. Like old girl said it. Starlight said it best. Why the fuck are you trying to make somebody like? Why are you trying to? What did she say? Why are you trying to be so close to people that hate you?
Yeah.
Like like he just look, huh? You still dumb, huh? You just kill him.
Yeah.
One thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Okay, yes.
I was gonna say one thing that made me salty though is like why they have to use like another Latino guy. You know what I'm saying? They just killed off one Latino guy, but these other Latino guy to be like racist as fuck, and then start like think he's Latino. If you think about like look up the character. He's a Latino. Like
the Blue. What's his name?
Yeah,
Blue Hawk.
Blue Hawk is. Is the guy playing him Latin or is
let's find out right now.
Yeah, he's not giving me. All right,
he's
let's
not
say
like the like. Hold on, let me see.
Let's say he is of Latin descent. I think that their intention, the writers and directors and the creators, are not looking to exploit to really lean into his heritage, his ethnicity. I feel like they're intentionally making him a right-wing white guy. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the image of a right-wing white guy. And but hey, you know, who knows? That could be the case. Let us know if you come up with that. There's one thing I wanted to bring up real quick. Here's a quick scene, and then we'll go ahead and we'll move off of this and we'll talk some Obi Wan, because I definitely want to talk Obi Wan. Because
this week it was fire.
We'll talk on that in a second. But here's a scene from Homelander, from The Boyz, that I thought was very revealing. Probably one of the most, in my opinion, pivotal in Mother's Milk. So let me know what y'all think about this on the other side of it.
Baby, I'm sorry, but Daddy's got to go.
No, Daddy, I want to go to the science center. Did I do something wrong?
No, baby. I'm sorry.
The NYPD and Bureau of Superhuman Affairs are calling in the work of an unknown supervillain. At this time, we're still waiting for more information.
Homelander, did you hear me?
Sorry? What?
I said, we need to handle this now.
Yeah, of course we do. Okay, so book slots on all the Sunday shows. Tell them that there's nothing to worry about. Not a thing. We got everything under control.
That's smart. So smart. So
Jesus, I meant that we need to stop this guy.
Could you watch your fucking tone, please, darling?
I'm sorry. I mean, don't you think that maybe the best way to handle this is to find him?
I never thought of that. Obviously. God. Okay, so why don't you go and do that? Run along and save the day. Meanwhile, the grown-ups, well, we got to worry about the share price and the EBITDA margins. Okay?
So I ask you, Tyrone, is Homelander already afraid of Soulja Boy?
Afraid? No, I don't think he's afraid of. I don't think he understands what fear is. I don't think he's had cause to be afraid of anything, really. But yeah, no, I think he's just at the moment just kind of bothered that he has to deal with this shit. I think he wanted to be the king, sitting on his throne, you know, and just having people worship him. But now he's having to like do a job, you know, and I think he's just like, this fucking sucks. So yeah, so I think what, you know, I think he's seeing the value in having somebody like Stan Edgar to do all the stuff he doesn't want to do, because he's just trying to just chill. Like he just wants people. He wants people to know that he's the ultimate, like he's the best thing in the world, and that's it. That's all he wants. He just needs to be feared and respected, and you know, loved if possible. If not, then he'll go with fear.
Yeah, Bad Ty, I kind of got the feeling that he recognized Soulja Boy and was like, all right, I don't like dealing with this, and used all that other bureaucratic shit as an excuse to not fuck with Soulja Boy.
Nah, I'm with Tyrone. I don't think he gives a fuck about Soulja Boy. I think it's more or less about that whole conversation. That from the time he sat in the board meeting and everybody was just like pandering to him, and then the girl asked him a real question, and then he didn't have an answer, and it frustrated him. And now he's realizing what he just did was he told her exactly what it is. Let the grown-ups do what they need to do, which is run this company. He's more focused on running the company now and not so much that part of everything. He's more into delegating, like he just said. You go do it. Go clean it up. Yeah. I'll be right here. Making our numbers go up. That's what his focus is. He doesn't know Soulja Boy. Like you said, Soulja Boy is from an era before him, and he's disappeared. He's been gone for 50 years.
Well, he's been presumed. He's been dead. He's been dead for forever. Yeah. So I don't think he like, again, he's never feared anyone. He's had no reason to. He's the most powerful being in the world, as far as he knows. So there's I don't think he's scared of anything. Yeah. He's just finding out that there's something he's bad at. He doesn't fucking like it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Well, I guess I guess we'll have to see. Either way, man, I think that The Boyz right now is leading the industry, and they're doing a good job of spoofing these, these characters in these other universes that we've grown to love. I mean, it's basically what it is, man. And keep it on. I'm looking forward to it. I have a bad feeling that we're going to be dissatisfied with the last episode, because I mean, there's so much development, you know what I'm saying, with this one. I get the feeling, just be prepared for a heavy cliffhanger.
Is this is the next episode the last episode?
I don't think so.
No, I think
we're only
they're
on episode 5.
10
I think it goes to like
episodes.
10.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, well, we got a
But
lot of story.
I still don't think
man.
that's
We got a lot
enough
of
time.
story here.
Yeah, it's definitely a left, but we'll see. We'll see.
A lot of time for a lot of people to die.
Yeah.
True.
Hopefully A-Train next.
I get the feeling they're probably going to give his brother Compound V, and then get him. Then he's going to be, him and his brother are going to be like, the Trill Squad. Or
They're not giving no black. Man, listen, man, they've been treating. Dude, now you think they're going to get.
Yo,
was he gonna steal it?
Yes.
He might steal it.
Yes. Oh, I mean, look, if it's one thing that A-Train has been doing consistently is just being deceptive. And I mean, he can get Compound V if he really wants it. You know what I'm saying? He's able to get all these other things. He's able to do a lot of shit that he's not on the radar like that. Nobody gives a fuck about him. So I think that there could be a few, despite you guys wanting to kill him off, I think there might be another story plot point coming with A-Train that might present itself fairly interesting, but he definitely has a long way to go if he's going to get back in good graces of Ty and Yas, because they both.
Oh well, he's going to kill Blue Hawk. I can tell you that right now. He's going to kill Blue Hawk, but it's not going to get him in my good graces. I'm hoping he kills Blue Hawk and then uses the same gun or whatever on himself. That would be my wish for A-Train.
All right. Well, having said that, A-Train, good luck to your homeboy. None of us are rooting for you, evidently.
Yeah, the ops are gonna get his ass.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, watch your back, homeboy. Well, anyway, while y'all are sitting there talking to A-Train, who is going through his big debacles, we're celebrating Father's Day weekend this week, and what better father does any one of us know than Darth Vader? Obviously, you saw what I did there. It was a difficult one, but I tried. It didn't really did.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a classic Vince Taylor segue.
Anyway, so all right, without me saying anything, let's just go around the horn and just give us, start with you, then Tyrone, then Bad Ty. Yes, your opinions on this week's episode of Obi Wan. You love it? Did you notice anything? What's going on?
It was definitely nuts. I did love the fact that they totally gave us what we needed for our prequel fans. That was definitely the icing on the cake for me. But yeah, I definitely love this episode. It had a lot of interesting things that happened that kind of made you think about what's to come. So I'm excited.
Okay.
One episode left, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's tough to think about. What about you, Tyrone? What was your thoughts on the episode?
Some cool nostalgic stuff. It's cool seeing young Anakin and Obi Wan training and stuff. Cool Vader moments.
I was gonna say he didn't definitely look young, but
younger.
Hayden definitely looks like he's
younger.
Woo.
Yeah. Cool Vader moments and stuff. I liked him versus Reva. I thought that was cool. Seeing him demonstrate the level of his force powers was cool. Although, that moment immediately was destroyed for me because of this magic second ship that showed up. I was like, "What the hell is happening?"
Okay.
Maybe I missed something. But,
no, it was there the whole time. It was in the back.
Yeah, it was there. I did the same thing, Tyrone.
Yeah,
I had to rewatch it.
Yeah, because when the ship took off, there was nothing else there, and I was like,
it was in the way back, towards the wall. It was in the way back and back.
I mean, we can do that right
no,
here.
No, I believe you. I believe you. It's very possible that
we don't need to be canceled.
Yeah, no, it's very possible
let's Disney be stalking us. Listen, we just got back on their whole you can follow them again. Let's not, okay? Because they just they just gave us access to follow them again, okay?
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm glad to know. Yeah, glad to know that it was there the whole time because I saw it and I was like, what?
Well, yeah, literally, Tyrone. I thought the same thing. Where the fuck did that come from? And I rewound it. And if you go back and watch it, that ship is right in front of the other ship.
Yeah.
So they sit there and let him use all his force on that shit, and then the other
there are questions.
Yeah, the other question is like, all right, well, can you just like let go of this one and just catch out? Like, is all of your energy can only go into one ship a day? Like, are you hindered? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn,
yeah, like he saw the other ship and he was like, nuts. Darn it.
How quick can your
like,
brain transfer from like doing one thing to another? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you multitask?
But I think what these kinds of moments just
I'm done.
But
bear in mind, like these aren't his hands. Let's keep that. Let's remember that too. He has no hands. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not like.
But I honestly
all of a sudden hindered by proximity. Like, I could do the ship 10 feet from me, but 15. Hell no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I thought that was
also that's a pretty ballsy plan for somebody trying to escape. They're like, look, this decoy ship thing will absolutely work. What if he was just like, oh shit, the ship got away, and then they're just sitting there on the ground like, ooh. But like these things, like I watch Star Wars shows a little bit differently than I watch a show like The Boyz. So like it doesn't all have to make sense. You know, it's they're giving us Darth Vader, they're giving us Obi Wan, they're giving us stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, this is fun, this is cool. It's not knocking my socks off or anything like that, but it's a good time.
Oh yeah. Well, hold on, Minnie. We don't know for sure if there was a pilot, bro. There's a lot of droids.
I was about to say it could have been a droid pilot, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could have been it could have been on autopilot.
Not the droid.
Autopilot.
Well, he only ripped the sides off to get into the ship, and notice that there's like the whole ship, like the ship was fine. The pilot could have survived. The brave pilot, unless like Vader went into the ship afterwards and we didn't see it, and he just started smacking him in the face or something. But like. It could have happened, but no, it's
Reva's fucked though. She's not getting off that planet with that ship because that ship's fucked. It can't fly.
Well, speaking of Reva, or should I say the Grand Inquisitor, her storyline took a completely different turn. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know how to quite feel about this development in the plot. The Ty, talk to me about it. They basically revealed that she's a double agent of sorts, like she's a clandestine Jedi working as an inquisitor to get back at Vader, which all fine and dandy. You got to do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? And I actually kind of like the story of her being a Padawan at the Jedi, when the attacks went down. The problem I have is the execution of the plan. All right, I'm going to sneak up behind the most powerful.
Right.
I'm going to sneak up behind the most powerful Jedi, force wielding individual in, as far as we know, in our galaxy, and he's just not going to sense me.
Why didn't she just like in between like he did to her? You know what I mean? Like she was like.
Yeah, literally, and he just coming off of keeping a whole starship from leaving the ground. He could have easily just ripped her apart, snapped her neck, probably all kind of crazy stuff. But I like the planning. I just don't understand all these years of work to foil your plan just by going by. Like it just felt very primitive, and it even felt weird. Y'all tell me this, bad time. She sat there in front of all of those Empire, all of those stormtroopers, and whispered in Obi's ear the plan. Like she's, she's just sitting there like.
I thought that too. I was like, they're right there, dude. What the fuck? Like they can't hear.
Sure, it's gonna work.
If I was a stormtrooper in line, I'd been like, hey, what are y'all whispering about?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody. Like, excuse us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so that it was a little disconcerting the execution of this whole overtaking of Vader. Bad tie. Am I off my rocker here, bro? Or I mean, I see Yaz agrees. What say you, friend?
I think she should have just stuck to whatever plan she had. Right. Obi kind of coerced her into, moving forward with her plans quicker than she necessarily wanted to. She was building rapport with Vader, however that looks. And he was starting to have some level of trust towards her. He had just, promoted her to Grand Inquisitor. He had made, put her responsible for locating and capturing Obi. So he has some level, or had some level, of trust, however that looks, to Vader. And I think Obi kind of coerced her to move faster than she probably would have. And that's what caused it to not work out the best, because that plan wasn't constructed. That plan wasn't thought through. It was just like, all right, we're here. Is there, there might be an opportunity. Take it. It's,
So,
and she,
so
so she didn't think it all the way through.
Go ahead, yes.
My question is, okay, with this whole Obi Wan trying to bring her into the dark side and everything, is like Vader at the end had the Grand Inquisitor. Remember, she stabbed him and tried to kill him, and like we thought he was dead. You know what I'm saying? And his little wise remark back to her was, "Revenge is the greatest ammo." You know what I'm saying? To like to keep you alive. So obviously, him and Vader were in cohorts and knew that she was going to fucking betray them because she fucking killed him.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about it. Like, this all was like a plot that Vader was just waiting for her ass. And like, that's why he was like, Obi Wan coerced you. Like, he wasn't even mad. He was like, okay, I'm gonna take your lightsaber, take it apart, throw it at you. Let's have a fight, bitch, after I'm done messing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you want to kill me, bitch? Let's try this. Try and kill me. And like, he was just like do-si-doing around her ass, just like holding his arm out like this. You know what I'm saying? Like waltzing around this bitch, like literally. And it was literally a whole like, it was thought out. He knew what was happening. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he was surprised when he heard her blade go on. He was like, this bitch, like, you know what I'm saying? She kind of did and didn't pick her moment, precisely. And that's why the Grand Inquisitor was already there, like ready to take her pin off her after he stabbed her ass. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the moment was when he was over there playing with the ships. That's when you get him.
Yeah.
But could you imagine that meeting between the old Grand Inquisitor and Vader, where Vader's like, hey, you might have to take one in the gut and just kind of chill for a little while. Just trust me, everything's gonna be okay. But this might not work.
Ass.
Yeah. He would have been like, she stabbed me. I need to do something. Like, just chill, man. I got this. Don't worry, this young lady. Like, because apparently Vader knew the whole time. So like, he's out there just like, throwing people to the wolves left and right. I love it.
Well, so what's the real benefit of him knowing? To find them.
Yeah, but like he said, he even said to her too, Vince, that like, he knew that she, like, how did I not know that you were the Padawan? Like, you didn't think I saw that? Like, he knew that she was the Padawan. Obviously, she's going to take revenge. He killed everybody that she knew and loved as a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do as a kid to get revenge, right? That's kind of...
Well, I mean,
just regular kid
shit.
101. Revenge.
Right. I'm just throwing that out there. Just like throwing the fish, just like see if I can hook it. It's like, it's a winner. I'm just saying, like, it's just revenge 101.
Learned so much about Yaz. What y'all do as kids, if not get revenge on people?
Well, is there a small part of Vader that is not, that may have been fooled and waiting to see whether or not, well, not fooled, but knowledgeable and waiting to see what she ended up doing? Because keep in mind, like, Vader also comes from a dark history where, his mom was taken away, and you know what I'm saying? And he might have been thinking, I know this chick was going through some traumatic shit, but she's on the right side of the force now, but was still cautious. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily, because he knew, doesn't necessarily mean that he thought, knew that she was going to be, deceptive.
No, but love is what ultimately turned him dark, though. And like Jedis are not supposed to have attachments. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest. So because of his attachment, it turned him dark because he wanted to save her. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit different with Reva. You know what I'm saying? Like that's her family. He murdered everybody and tried to kill her. It's more of like, I'm trying to get you back and get justice for Order 66 in general, because you were the one, you were the chosen one. You were like you said, you were supposed to save us. We all thought you were there to save us.
Yeah, that was
like you were knocking us down. She even said like she tried to save the little ones, but she was too weak. You know what I'm saying? So like there was there's definitely, you know, like there's something going on there for sure.
Yeah, that part was actually really touching to me. The explanation of not only her having to come to grips with what happened with Anakin, who at that point was probably one of the more revered Jedi in the Jedi Palace, right? Yep. I mean, he was the Padawan of Obi Wan. He had direct access to the Jedi Council, but then she also shifts some of the blame to Obi Wan too. She's like, "Yo, he was your Padawan. What the fuck was you at? Like, this was your boy." You know what I'm saying? Like, and that explains why she's looking for him. You know, like, yo, this is not just his fault. You trained this dude, and then you couldn't even stop him when he's coming at us kids. Where was you? So I'm here for you too, Obi. You know what I'm saying? So it just gets complex. I'm just a little nervous now because I just feel like this happened a little, like the turnover was a little too sudden for me. You know, I don't know, like
no. We had some development though. So remember, she was pissed at Obi-Wan because he wasn't there. Where the fuck was he? She never got her answer. But then she did find Obi-Wan's little message thing from Leia's dad, the senator, saying that I'm nervous about, if you invade her fighting the kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to Owen and go after Luke. So now she's like, oh shit, wait a minute. This whole fucking thing with Leia is Leia related to that? Now she's finding out more character development, and now maybe this might turn into her character arc, and she might go and try and help them defeat Vader, and ultimately tell Vader you have children, and that's what's gonna weaken him because of his emotional detachment. You know what I'm saying? To everything. Oh, Padme died, but your kids are still alive, bitch. Now what? And then someone's gonna you know what I'm saying?
Wow. It's so crazy, Tyrone, how the Force works for some things, but not for other things, right? Darth Vader can sense Obi-Wan, but he can't sense that his kids are still alive. You know what I'm saying? And are near him, and that his own daughter, who was on the same ship or in close proximity, is his own daughter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what the limitations are.
So I'm sure,
kind of like a connection thing. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, Tyrone?
What I think, and people may not like this answer, but what I think is that the reason we find ourselves having these kinds of discussions is because we keep making more and more shows inside of this same timeline. So you have to find new plots, you have to find new stories, new devices, new ways to get here, new ways to get there and stuff. But you're still you're confined by canon, right? So you can only go so far. So now we have all these kind of very vague ideas of okay, we understand that you really can't lie to somebody who uses the Force, but for some reason, Reva doesn't understand that. For some reason, for some reason, so many people still don't understand this. These kinds of things, will keep on coming up as more of these shows happen inside of the Skywalker saga, because, as we dive deeper into the Force, we realize that the rules are kind of vague, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's my not very fun answer. It's because this is the reality. They just the solution. I don't know if y'all know Taika Waititi is making a Star Wars movie, and he is not making a Star Wars movie inside the Skywalker saga. He's going completely out of the timeline. He's doing something completely original, and I cannot wait to see how this works out. I'm so excited to finally be out of it.
Do we know the name of it?
Not yet. It's still being written and stuff, but
gotcha.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's why Star Wars fans. It's why we have such heated debates. Is because every time we see something new, there's this new list of questions that we have to talk about. And you'll have somebody like Biddle who's read books for years, who's gone through the Star Wars books, so probably knows a lot of these answers, and a lot of that's probably addressed somewhere. But for those of us who have just been given the visual medium, the animation, the movies, the shows, it's okay, this thing that I knew to be true in XYZ show or movie is now kind of in question.
Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of what I was saying during the Boba Fett series. Was like, look, the reason we hate this is because we have expectations of Boba Fett. You know, if we didn't know this, I mean, Mandalorian, we didn't know who the fuck he was. We didn't, you know, all of a sudden here's this guy, and so there's less questions, less complaints, because we're not like sitting here looking at 20 years worth of, you know, content that you have to match it up with.
Yeah, you go in with a certain amount of facts and a certain amount of knowledge and stuff like that, and then you're starting to like, and then things start to change, and you're like, oh wait, hold on, let me change this note, you know, that kind of stuff. So you know, it's part of the danger of playing around in this arena.
I think it also contributes to the success, or at least the perceived success, of Rogue One. With that wasn't a Skywalker story, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it had Leia in it, it had Anakin in it. But it wasn't about them. It wasn't centered around them. You know what I'm saying? So
the only thing they had, the only thing they had to make sure is that the plans got the Death Star plans got off the planet. That's all they had to do in Rogue One. Other than that, they got to tell the very, you know, a very fun, you know, kind of war and spy story in a way. And you know, the Saw Gerrera stuff, and like there was plenty of it that was canon that needed to be you know, taken care of. But yeah, just the main plot, the one big thing was like, get the Death Star plans. That's it.
I feel like Andor is going to give us like a little bit more insight to that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the show Andor coming out. Like I watched the trailer the other day and I was like, yo, I didn't really like care for, you know what I'm saying? Like that movie, but I am excited to see where they're going to go and tie this together. Cause that movie kind of was like, I know you guys get mad every time I say it. But that movie for me, of all of, you know what I'm saying, like all of the newer ones that were to come, that was more of like the I liked Solo more than I liked that movie.
Interesting. You know, I was the same way. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real, Yaz. I hated Rogue One, my first viewing of it. I was like, this isn't a Star Wars movie. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? There's very few blasters, there's no lightsaber, there's no Jedi. I was like, that these things just I mean, I know you know, there's a lightsaber for a couple seconds at the end, but I just was like, I don't. But then I went back and after reading some of the reviews, reading why some people loved it, I realized that I had married my definition of a Star Wars movie too close to what this was, and I was like, let me take a step back and just watch it as a movie. You know what I'm saying? Not as a Star Wars movie, not as a Jedi movie, not as a lightsaber movie. Let me just watch it as a movie. And when I did that, I had a greater level of respect for it. I was like, holy shit, this is a good production. I'm not saying the same thing will happen with you, but it did take me multiple times of watching it because I was disappointed the first time I seen it. But Andor, is that going to be a series or a movie? I thought it was it's going to be a series?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, okay, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing my man back on the screen. You know what I'm saying? What was it? I don't remember his name, but I loved him in Narcos.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what his name was.
Felix.
I couldn't remember it, but I was like, oh, it's the dude.
The actor's name is Diego Luna.
Diego. Okay, there it is. Yeah. This dude is a good actor, man. But anyway, we may be getting a pop-up from one Stephanie. Just got a quick pull up there, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, man, other than that, bro, this series, there's something else that happened. First of all,
Tala died.
Who?
R.I.P. Tala.
Tala.
Yeah.
The chick
one who was
that blew up.
Oh yeah, that storyline. I forgot to get into that. Yeah, man, that was
R.I.P.
Yeah, bro. That was. I think this episode was the best episode yet for me. It was. Other than the foiled plans of just it had so much traditional Star Wars, enough nuance to make it different. But it brought me back in. The last episode was way too developmental for me. This one brought us back into the fold, for my opinion. And now, at the end of this episode, if y'all peep before we move on to something else, looks like we're going to Luke now. It looks like this last episode is probably going to give us an entry point into Luke's character. And if I read these tea leaves correctly, Bad Ty, it looks like they're going to use all of the characters from the original series as the main characters for the Obi Wan series, as Leia, Obi, and Darth have been the main characters, and Reva. But Leia, Darth, and Obi-Wan. Now it's going to be Leia, Darth, Luke, and Obi-Wan with a side of Reva and some Inquisitors. So I mean, is that going to fly? Are we happy with that? Are you enjoying it? Or what's going on?
I mean, it's yet to be seen. I mean, they did kind of allude to the fact that they might tap into Luke. I feel like if they plan on like continuing this series, you maybe wait till next season or like the last episode to kind of like, use that as the storyline moving forward. But I don't know necessarily that. I think the relationship between Obi and Leia is significant, and I think they're going to continue to go with that. And to you asked a question earlier about why is it that Darth Vader can have this connection and know everything about Obi, but doesn't know about his own kids. I think that's probably because they haven't actually tapped into the Force yet. They are Force sensitive, but they haven't actually tapped into it. And the reason that Obi and Vader is because they had a connection as student to teacher. That connection is very, very strong, which is why Obi can see kind of what Vader's gonna do before Vader does it. Like that whole fight scene was so that you to kind of explain why Obi what Obi knows about Anakin, his aggression, how all of the things that he warned Anakin about are the same things that are driving Anakin right now. His anger, his aggression, his I'm saying, all of those things. So when you see those moments, like even down to the ship,
right?
The only way that plan works is because Obi knows Anakin. So he knows he's gonna come in there, he's gonna do this. He knew this, he knew all of this. So that's the only way the plan works. You know what I mean? Like as soon as Obi starts to tap in to Leia's Force, like using the Force and stuff like that, then that's probably when Anakin will get a glimpse of what's going on and kind of find out, a little bit about Leia. Or Reva tells, just kind of uses Luke or that as a some type of leverage. Who knows?
You just reminded me of something that angered me in this episode. They took Reva away, but they used two regular generic stormtroopers to take away, which somebody who Vader already admitted was not Vader, but the other Grand Inquisitor was admitted like, yo, your powers is what made us interested in you. So they already know this chick, you know what I'm saying, could easily kick the ass of these two. So of course she ends up getting away, right? And that just angered me. I was like, why the fuck what the hell? Like, they're just gonna, this is villainy 101. Like, how dare you not, put her with somebody that makes more sense? You know what I'm saying? But it ends up happening, man. Oh my God, we have a special guest
with the sun shining on you,
ladies and gentlemen. None other than our fifth member, man. What it do, big? What it do, big homie Steph? What's up?
It's very loud. I'm out here eating a black ass kente cone. This is the Huey and Bobby Crunch. It's fantastic. Just doing very black things with very black people. I'm as far away as I could get, and it's still very loud. But I miss you guys.
We miss you too, yo. Look at up there, bro. Go ahead, do a lap right quick. Hey, look at that. So, yo, Steph, since we got you for a few minutes, yo, where you at, yo? Talk to us, man. What you got going on? I know you are doing some Black Ink Pride stuff this weekend. Talk to us, man. What's the difference?
I am in Brooklyn at Linden Park for the Juneteenth New York City Festival. Yesterday, my team, Black and Pride Alliance, performed in the virtual festival, and today we are performing on stage for the live one. So We had an early call time, so they're just now getting started to set up. But we'll be on stage in about an hour, probably.
Nice.
All right, yes. And where is this again? This is what state?
What was that?
What state is this again? What state?
Oh, New York. New York.
New York.
I said Brooklyn. How many states have a Brooklyn?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Brooklyn, Ohio.
He thought you were talking about Brooklyn, Florida.
My bad. I heard the business. All right, cool, man. Well, Steph, I appreciate you popping up. We all do. We miss you like hell. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you ain't on here, but it looks so busy where you are, and it looks so fun. Did you say you had a kente cone?
Kente cone. The blackest ice cream ever. Literally, this is the Huey and Bobby Crunch, is what the flavor is called.
Nice.
Huey and Bobby Crunch. I know that's right.
Yeah.
No, but what flavor was it that you had in the cone there, Steph?
It was cookies and cream.
Oh, okay. All right,
yeah.
So you was mixed.
And then the chocolate is Melanin Magic, and vanilla, I forget his name, but it's named after the black man who discovered the flavor of vanilla.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something new every day.
Yeah,
bro. I think that Tyrone, you should drop what you're doing and go down there, bro. You're like a stone's throw away from Brooklyn. Let me stop.
I know it's looking nice outside.
Yeah, man. All right, well, feel free to hang around as long as you like. We appreciate the pop up. If you can't make it the whole time because of the noise and all that, that's perfectly fine. But we definitely have missed you. There's some questions we wanted to ask you about, like the boys, and some of your feelings about some of the stuff on the episode. Maybe just take the right time in that you're in that public forum. So feel free to hang out, man. But if you want to bow out, no pressure. We already got done talking about Obi Wan and the boys. And I think we talked a little bit about Little Mermaid. I don't know if you saw some of the Little Mermaid hate that was going on online. I don't know what side of the aisle you fall on when it comes to whether or not we should be redoing characters as black characters, or whether or not we should just make new characters. There's this whole debate in the blurred sphere as to whether or not black people are too accepting of race-bended roles. Is this one that we should not be forcing? Are you cool with Black Ariel? Are you surprised at the hatred met online by the releasing of this poster?
I am not surprised in the least, but I'm here for it. I want everything black. Black Ariel, Black Elle, Black Jasmine, Black Elsa. Make them all black. That's the world I want to live in.
Yeah, black everything, huh? Even Black Elsa?
Hell yeah, Black Elsa, Black Anna, Black Olaf, Black Sven.
Black Olaf.
Black Olaf.
That is what I want.
How do you get a black snowman?
No, we can take some dirty New Jersey snow and mix this.
Now we gotta take snow and get some coal and just like color it.
Yeah. Not even coal. It could be like great African soil.
It could be black. It's what they call black. It's what we call black ice, which is slush. It's just slush. So Olaf could be black ice.
That part, like the good black ice, like the goody mob talking about, man. All right, cool. So you're cool with that, man. All right. Well, I don't know if you can stick around for this, but we're about to start narrowing this down. We only got one more show to talk about. So if you can hang around, great. If not, we completely understand. But I know that you have recently expressed your overwhelming love for Ms. Marvel and how much you love Ms. Marvel, like so. How much she is a huge Ms. Marvel fan. But all right. But and on a serious note, though, Steph looks so majestic up there. There's black ice cream and wind, and I love it. Here's what I wanted to ask you about, Steph, and I'm so glad you popped up. This is perfect timing. So, despite your and not just you, but there's some other members of this panel that aren't as enthusiastic about our very own Ms. Marvel being released. Tyrone and I are still excited about it. But it's been met with a little bit of criticism, and not just criticism, but statistically, evidently is not doing that well. And there are some reasons for that. There's an article that was published that I wanted to share with you guys And I wanted to get your take on this, Stephanie, maybe before you, if you can hang around for a little bit. But here's ultimately what one person had to say about the lack of success thus far, as they are determining it is, for Ms. Marvel. So check this article out real quick. Ms. Marvel was a huge bust for Kevin Feige. It's currently the least watched Marvel show on Disney Plus. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I just wanted to read this particular portion of it. As expected, Ms. Marvel is a huge bust. I don't know where the as expected came from, but okay, for Kevin Feige on Disney Plus, as it's the least watched Marvel show by far, even worse than Hawkeye. Samba TV released its 5-day numbers, where Ms. Marvel was only watched by 775,000 households. Now, to put that in perspective, like that's not like Kim Kardashian gets more than that for one post. You know what I'm saying? Like these are like in the day of of all the social media. Like if you have 1 million followers, like this is not good. You know what I'm saying? For Disney Plus, which Disney is supposed to be like the mecca of entertainment, which is a near 50% drop from Feige's previously least watched Marvel show Hawkeye. Jesus. And a 69% drop from the high of Loki. So does that mean half of the people watching Marvel shows didn't bother to watch Ms. Marvel, even though they have an existing Disney Plus subscription where they can basically watch it for free? But again, half of the Marvel chose not to watch Ms. Marvel. Now, one thing that was mentioned on this in the actual article, it says that exactly as predicted, fans don't like Comic-Con is another woke replacement character no one likes. Now that stood out to me, the woke part. Now we can talk all about the differences in the characters and the dropping of the viewership, but this is just one article, so it doesn't speak for everybody. But I don't get woke from this show. You know what I'm saying? Am I missing it? Steph, you saw the first episode. I know you weren't too keen on it, I think. But am I missing something here? Is this woke?
You don't see that look. That look is I didn't watch the first episode.
Oh, my bad.
That's the 70 I maybe didn't watch.
Well, you listened to us talk about the first You heard us talk about we posted pictures of the show. Anyway, I don't know. I guess let me ask you like this, Steph. Is it possible that perceived wokeness is a deterrent for TV shows? Like shows that come out where it seems that there's a message about racial inequality and things of that sort. Are we in an era where that is being met by ignorance? I'm just not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch it because it seemed like they trying to teach me this is CRT on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what we are right now? Is that what is this? Even though you didn't watch it, do you think this could be a victim of that type of bullshit?
Hell yeah, this is America. Of course, racists don't want to see anyone who's not white on television. Like, of course they're mad about that. They don't have to ever address the fact that she is a young woman of color, and I believe she's Muslim. They don't have to make it part of the plot line. Just the fact that she exists and gets to be in the Marvel universe is going to make some people mad. And those are the reasons that I want so badly to support this show. Again, I didn't watch the first episode, but based on the trailer, it just looked corny to me, and I'm disappointed that they didn't do better because it shouldn't be this way. But it is true that as people of color look at to be twice as good to get half as far, and that's why I'm so proud that Black Panther is a stellar film. It's just a stellar film. It's a great Marvel movie. I love the blackness of it, but if you were to, in a horrific alternate world, recast it with white people, it would still be a great script, a super solid action movie, very compelling. This Marvel needed to be the best Disney Plus series that had ever existed to get half the credit. And it looks to me like they came out with an okay script and put this young Muslim woman of color in the lead role. Of course it's going to be a setup for failure.
Damn. That makes me sad, Steph. Yes, that makes me sad. Like, I mean, but this, we did not hear this when Kate Bishop hit was on the TV.
She's white. She gets to be mediocre.
Exactly. That's my point. This is like what woke. I don't understand. Like, because she's Muslim, because she wears a shawl, because they actually in this episode went to a mosque. They actually showed them praying. You know what I'm saying? In many occasions they are referencing Muslim culture. And Tyrone, is that signify woke because they're showing other characters, other cultures, other aspects of culture that we haven't been using in the mainstream limelight, exposing that on TV, quote unquote, makes it woke? Is that what I'm learning?
It's woke in the way that the term is defined now, which is a pushback by white supremacy against people having voices. Any kind of voice that's not white is now woke. Any pushback against racism, or any pushback against anything that doesn't fit into a white male ideal of something is cancel culture. So these terms have been co-opted, commandeered, co-opted, redefined to sound bad, to sound unappealing. So as soon as any white dude has a problem with something, they could just be like, that's woke and I don't like it, and that justifies my racism, my sexism, my homophobia, my bigotry, whatever it is. So just like you, I'm not mincing words. That's when somebody shows up and is not white and you're automatically classifying it as woke, I'm sorry, you're racist.
Yeah,
that's it. That's as simple as it is. Like this dude who wrote that article, he started at racism and he tried to use a bunch of numbers to justify his racism. And sorry, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. And the sad part is, like, this isn't some blog, right? This is, I don't want to talk about whether it's credible or not, but like, this is coming from, what's this? Cosmic Book News. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, like with $100, I can make that website. You know what I mean? Like that's we do need to be careful, like how we validate sources. Yeah,
that's my point. It's not coming across the screen as like, hey, this is Tyrone and this is my blog. It's like this is like they're presenting themselves as a credible source. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it is or not, even with the $100 that you take to make this site, this dude right now has put, whoever this is, has put into the universe that this is a potential issue, that this show is quote unquote woke. And I like the fact that you've addressed the fact that woke. Can I tell y'all a quick story?
Please do.
Brief. I promise it'll be less than 60 seconds. When I was working on the radio with iHeart and with Monsters, I was really touting the fact that I represented a woke culture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I was going into with these folks. These are folks that probably didn't vote like me, except for Carlos. You know what I'm saying? Who we all love, by the way. Good luck on your run for House Commissioner seat 5 in DeLand, Carlos Navarro. Y'all didn't know, bro. Trust the bro it's possibly going to be a member of government. So I remember that, and I remember how we laughed about it. But I also remember it started shifting into being something really bad around that same time. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember being like, oh wait, this is a slur now. Like this is so now like the concept of being woke, which is funny because the same people will come to you and be like, you're asleep. Wake up, you sheeple. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, okay, well, I'm woke. Oh, you're woke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that this is really, is this really what it is that's hurting it? Or is it the fact that this is a show that is designed as its TV 14 for younger kids and it's just not meeting the criterion of the shows before? What do we attribute the loss of viewership to, Tyrone? What do you think it could be if it's not the wokeness?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Stephanie's reaction to the trailer, for example, she saw the trailer and she was like, looks kind of corny, looks like something I'm not really into. That's, I can see why. It's something that stars a teenage girl. You know what I mean? That might not be for everybody. That it's if it wasn't a Marvel show and I wasn't already familiar with the character and it was just like something outside, I would have been like, I'll catch it at some point. You know what I mean? Like, but this calling it a bust, I think, is obviously a personal choice for this person. Yeah. But the show's objectively good and it's been reviewed very well too by most reputable reviewers. So, I don't know if it's. I'm not saying anybody who doesn't watch this show is racist or whatever else. That's definitely not the case. There's plenty of reasons why people wouldn't watch the show. But yeah, I don't know why it dropped off so much, but it'd be interesting. It's an interesting thing. I hearing from Stephanie, hearing how Ty and Yaz feel about it, I'm like, oh, okay, there seems to be some disconnect with some people.
Y'all still feel the same way, Ty? Yes. Did y'all watch this week's episode?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I think it was better. I think, and to Tyrone's credit, it was better than last week. But it still gives me like definitely teeny bopper. You know what I'm saying? Like vibes. Like it's not like something that I'm like looking forward to every week. And I think coming off of Moon Knight, to take because I want to take because I definitely agree. Let me just say that first. I definitely agree with Tyrone and also agree with Stephanie that the individual who wrote that article clearly had a perception that he wanted to make sure that he let people know that he didn't like this. That was very clear and uncut in that article. To say as expected.
Yes.
Like that's clearly you expected. No, I mean, you should have said as I expected, like not as expected. But I think coming off of Moon Knight, where it was focused on Egyptian lore and history and the culture, the Egyptian culture, and now here you have Miss Marvel, which is the Muslim young lady who's of Muslim background and just heard that the dynamic of being a teenager and coming up for those people who just want to watch superhero stuff and see superhero stuff like that, like they're getting more than what they I guess signed up for. So it can, like, for me, I would like to, as much as I love learning, because I do feel like they are going all the way in on the cultural aspect. They're from the dialect, from just all of this stuff that that goes on in that culture. They're doing an excellent job of that, of giving us a view of that. But when it comes down to it, the action, like I'm there's I don't even know who the villain is. Is the villain the government? Like, is there gonna be a villain? Is, what I'm saying? Like right now, she's been playing with two powers, which is one which looks like I'm getting Static Shock vibes. I'm like, what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like this is more like, I'm like, yo, she's building like I don't know, man. For me, it's hard to swallow every week because like I'm just like looking forward to Marvel just one-upping every time, like getting better and better, because that's what we had for Wanda. We went WandaVision, we went Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then we went where did we go after that? We went
Loki, right?
Loki. Then we got Loki. It was progressively getting better. And then we hit like a wall. We hit Hawkeye, which Hawkeye wasn't that bad. I don't know why they're dissing Hawkeye like that, but Hawkeye wasn't that bad. But we hit a wall with Hawkeye, then Moon Knight, which I still think was decent, but not at Marvel level. And then here we are with another unfamiliar character. So we've had two back-to-back unfamiliar characters, and maybe that's what it is. Like, there was familiarity with Hawkeye, there was familiarity with Loki. We already had met these characters, Winter Soldier, Falcon. There's a lot of familiarity there, but then you bring these unfamiliar characters, and then you just kind of delve into the cultural aspect of it without the action. Like Stephanie said, with Black Panther was an absolutely wonderful script, with action sequences all throughout and all kind of technological advances and all kind of stuff. Like it was beautiful to look at from a visual standpoint. This is more like, I don't know. This is like, I don't know.
It's like a TikTok video. Like this show. This show is
like it does feel very TikTokish. You know what I'm saying? So, like outside of the racial aspect, because there are going to be people that just hate just because that's just what they wake up with every morning and imbued in their soul. It's just hatred. So anything that they can hate upon, they're going to hate upon. So I'm separating that and just giving a viewpoint from just a critic standpoint. And for me, I need more. I need a little bit more. I love the cultural aspect, but I need more. If this is a superhero Marvel Disney Plus show, give me more of that. And it maybe next week, maybe it'll be next week. I mean, they're tapping in. We've seen Auntie. We know Auntie is there, or whoever she is, and everything like that. And Tyrone, please let me know what we can expect next week.
Oh, I have no idea what to expect this week. I'm looking forward to it a lot, but I do want to. I think one thing that has kind of occurred to me is this is the first origin story that we've had in a while, and it's classic origin story. It's somebody who did not have powers, who now has powers, and is starting from the beginning. We haven't started from scratch in Marvel for any time in the recent past, especially with the shows. The shows have been people who have been established. Shows have been people who have kind of been in groups and stuff like that. So this is the first kind of Moon Knight. We jumped right into the middle with Moon Knight. Like we got Moon Knight. That wasn't so much an origin story as it was sort of like a wake up. You know what I mean? Like, people were introduced to Moon Knight for the first time for a lot of times, but this is somebody who's like, this is origin story like Spider-Man home, like an old Spider-Man movie. I mean, we didn't even get a Spider-Man origin story in the MCU. We got Spider-Man. They were like, hey, here's this dude. He's a Spider-Man. Congratulations. Like, that's how we got in MCU. So I think because everything is like, with the MCU, we're so used to just being thrown right in there with the powers and the costumes and everything's established and the villains and stuff. Right now, we're starting from scratch. So we're getting to know the person, getting to know the people around them, why they do what they do, where they're coming from. So I think that might be why it feels slow.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we're running low on time here, and we're going to have to kick it off. So we don't really have a chance to discuss the Illuminati's, all the other developments that happened. We can talk about it next week. I hate to say it, but this was not my favorite episode. It was very slow. It was very developmental. It was cool, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't really a lot of action, and there wasn't a lot going on. But you learn a lot.
Y'all hate when there's not a lot of action in the show, man.
Well, it's Marvel.
Sometimes you get to just really just there's goodness sometimes in slowing down a little bit.
Enjoy
it.
No,
take it slow.
Not at Marvel. No. This is not OWN network. Yeah. All right. This is Disney. And when we want to watch that bullshit, we'll watch something on on Wii TV. All right. I'm not coming here. Sorry, ladies, but not coming to Marvel to watch emotional shit. But it's all good. I'm cool with it.
This is Netflix and chill.
Thank you. That boy. Now listen. Now before we go, I will say I think that Hawkeye was low key an origin story. I think that it was supposed to be about Clint, but it was actually about Kate Bishop. But you're right in terms of it being.
It was in a group. It was with Hawkeye, with known Avenger.
This is a solely a character that this whole story is about, not anybody else. And I can see where that comes from. I wanted to ask y'all about other stuff that y'all were watching, man. We're under the 2-minute mark. If you have something you're watching you want to shout out real quick, I'm going to recommend a show called Sky. Oh, shit. What's the name of the show? Midnight Sky? Shit. Never mind.
Midnight Sky? That wasn't the vampire?
Night Sky. It's got dude that plays J. Jonah Jameson. Is a character. It's a good thriller. It's not a fast-paced action show, but sci-fi wise, it's cool.
No action. Get that shit out of here.
It's not Marvel. It's our brand.
I watched Spiderhead last night.
Okay, Spiderhead, is that good?
Yeah, that was actually decent. And everybody knows Chris Hemsworth. So he stars in it, and yeah, it's interesting.
And Reed Richards is in it, and what's his name too, right? The other
he plays Goose in Maverick also, like that.
Yeah, he did, and he's way taller. Tom Cruise is
he is way taller. Like
this is not Marvel, guys. This is
neck is like swole.
Yeah.
Anyway, another one that you guys could totally check out is Amazon Prime has this really woke movie on, and it's called Emergency. Definitely check it out because we'll probably be talking about it next week.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Steph, you watching anything? Tyrone, anything on the last 30 seconds out? Nope. No. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Well, I just want to thanks Stephanie so much for taking the time out of her busy black day to come by and say what up, and even to show us the ice cream cone, man. That's pretty dope, man. So thanks, Stephanie. We're looking forward to seeing you again next week. And all of y'all at home or wherever it is you at, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all check out the replays. Make sure you follow us and do what we always say, and don't be fake. If you're not, if you are, that ain't cool. Be your authentic self. And as always, sorry I'm rushing, but we gotta hurry up. Let the geek flag fly. I gotta go. Bye.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging.